Darling, I must be a bore. It's terribly bad form, I know, to speak of private matters that one shouldn't let on show. But my analyst is summering, it's ghastly in Provence, and you're the only confidant whose brain is not too dense to grasp the sheer theatricality, the nuance and the flair of a rather intimate and unforeseen affair which took place in my bedroom on the Porthalt linen sheets. A solo exhibition of some long-forgotten feats. One really shouldn't mention one's own private manual arts. It's not the sort of subject that one casually imparts, but you, my dear, appreciate the passion and the plight of finding oneself energized at 12:30 at night. It was a marvelous performance, a truly five-star show. A pity one's own hands can't shout brava from the back row. One can't discuss these triumphs with dreary he and she brigade. Their passions are so frightfully reproductive, I'm afraid. Their pleasures are so earnest, so Germanic and so grim, pursued with all the giddy joie de vivre of a Protestant hymn. But you, my dear, appreciate the art, the pure technique, the wit required to entertain oneself throughout the week. It's not some base or vulgar, adolescent panting need. It is a civilized and deeply necessary deed. So when I say I found myself exploring certain zones in ways one only reads about in untranslated tomes, please understand it wasn't lust, it wasn't base desire. It was a purely aesthetic response to an attractive civil fire, a form of calisthenics for the soul if you're inclined. And frankly, darling, you're the only man I know who wouldn't mind. So there I am, I'm on the phone with my sister, may she live and be well. I'm kvetching about Fairway, which is frankly now a hell. The price of locks, it's criminal, the sable's a disgrace, when suddenly this smell invades my rent-controlled high-floor space. Not brisket, Sylvia, not Kugel, no, this smell was cheap and vile. It smelled like Mrs. Finkelstein was burning styrofoam in style. You know the vents, they're never cleaned. I've told the co-op board 1,000,000 times to pay this kind of maintenance should be one of the 7 major crimes. So what's a girl to do? I called the city's best and bravest, dear. I said my lungs are paperweights, you get somebody here. I'm delicate, I'm sensitive, I'm 64 years old. I've got a touch of brisket smoke still left from that bad head. The operator sounded bored. A child, what does she know? You think they teach them anything about a proper smoke inhalation flow? And then he walks in, Sylvia. Forget the smoke, forget the call. They sent a walking, talking reason to forgive it all. Not one of these boys from NYU who find themselves all day. This was a man, a grown-up from, I'm guessing, far away. Like Queens, he had a chin you could depend on, shoulders like a bridge, and eyes that looked right through you past the Tupperware in your fridge and saw your soul. He walks into my living room, this mensch, this handsome brute, and Sylvia dear, I swear to God, my nervous system went kaput. I totally forgot that I was dying from the air. My only thought was, thank you God, I finally did my hair. So Paul says, ma'am, the building's clear, you seem a bit distraught. I said, it's not the smoke, my dear, it is the deeper thought, the psychic trauma, the lingering emotional debris. He nodded like he'd studied at the new school with a minor in me. He said, I understand your state, but protocol is protocol, and if you're feeling faint, we have to get you through the hall and down the stairs into the street and in the ambulance. I said, young man, I don't think you appreciate my circumstance. You think I'm being carried from my lobby like a sack of last week's dirty laundry that you know you can't bring back. With all my neighbors watching from their windows with that eagle eye, and have to hear them whispering about me till I die. But he was clever, Sylvia, he had a certain guile. He looked at me and answered with a devastating smile. You're right, a scene like that would be unseemly and a bore. We'll have to be discreet as we go past your neighbor's door. That Mrs. Finkelstein from 3B with her vicious little poodle, she'll have enough material to write a whole new high holiday Megillah. Well, Sylvia, I'm a fighter, but I'm not a total fool. I've battled with the co-op board, I've battled with the shul, but have that woman watch me being schlepped out on a gurney. My social life could not survive that kind of downward journey. So I looked up at this fireman, this brilliant, handsome strategist, and realized that my position had been fatally unkissed by logic. So I patted his adorable and well-formed bicep twice and said, you know what, Paul, your thinking is concise. I'm feeling better now, I think the air is clearing fast. I had him, Sylvia, checkmate, a victory at last. He was impressed, I think you know, by my quick change of heart. It's not every day a woman masters the strategic arts, and I'm alone a victor in my own campaign. A woman who can utilize her beauty and her brain. But Sylvia, the encounter, the sheer voltage of the man, had reactivated portions of my long-term strategic plan. A dormant area of researcher topic left for dead. So I retired to the boudoir, got the pillows for my head, for a session of, let's call it, applied somatic memory. A discipline I'm sure they never taught you at the JCC. The work was going wonderfully, the progress was immense. I just achieved a state of heightened narrative suspense, when suddenly a knock came at the door, a fist, a thump, that threw my nervous system in a catatonic slump. It's him, it's Paul, it must be. He's come back to fan the flames. My God, I'm in my ancient moo-moo from that trip to Ames. This has no glamour, Sylvia, this has no sense of taste. It doesn't say, come hither, it just says I've gone to waste. I opened up the door, a portrait of sophisticated ease, as if he'd only interrupted me defrosting my deep freeze. He stood there, Sylvia, perfect, a god in soot-stained gear, the leading man of my new show, the year of living dangerously here. He cleared his throat, he gave a smile, my universe stood still. The culmination of my formidable and iron will. He said, I'm sorry, ma'am, for the intrusion. I seem to have misplaced my helmet. So, anyway, how's your sister?